What's going on, everybody? My name is David McDonald, and welcome back to the FollowPeace podcast. This week in this devotional, we are going to be talking about pursuing your spouse in marriage. Now, marriage nowadays, I would say, definitely has its, I don't know, what would you call it? A lot of people don't believe in marriage, and I don't feel like it's a topic or something that I see a lot of people celebrating in. But what I can say is being married and having been married for 5+ years now, it is a very, very exciting and fulfilling journey that one can go on. And, I like this pursuing your spouse in marriage because I'm in a transitional stage in my life where, defining who I am as a man has never been more important as I continue to evolve and go through a lot of transitions. My youngest daughter just turned 4, and my eldest is now in kindergarten. And there's been some changes in our household. And so, as I continue to evolve and learning everybody in these new systems, I only felt like this was going to be a good devotional to pursue for the next 3 days. So, I hope that you join me. It's called Pursuing Your Spouse. And so, we're going to jump right in it to start. So, I don't know if you guys can see this okay. Let me go ahead and blow it up. Okay, so pursuing your spouse in marriage. Uh, don't give up. Now, this is a really important part, but I'll read this first. So, falling in love is a process. I believe standing in love is a more powerful way to say it. But when you were first interested in your spouse, you probably wanted to spend lots of time with them and learn all about them. And as you got to know each other, your relationship grew until the day you stood at the altar together and made your vows. Although the wedding day sealed our covenant, one flesh, relationship with our spouse, our pursuit of their heart continues for all the days of our lives. Very important concept that I think we should never overlook. The attraction process should not end on the wedding day. However, if we do not nurture our marriage relationship, it will grow dull and uninteresting. This is what can cause couples to fall out of love. The loving feelings fade if we don't intentionally keep doing the things that grew our relationship in the first place. Many couples talk, kiss, hold hands, and go on dates far less often after getting married than while dating. But those good things that brought you together in the beginning are what will keep bringing you together for all the days to come. So don't let the pursuit end. Don't grow weary of investing in your marriage. Don't give up on good work of building your marriage, on the good work of building your marriage. Paul encourages us in Galatians 6 to not grow weary of doing good. This absolutely applies to the marriage relationship. Seek to do good for your spouse, even if it's hard today. Aligning with God's vision for oneness in marriage is the best path to a joy filled and fulfilling marriage. Everyone is created with a deep desire to be known and understood, to be naked and unashamed in every sense of both words. How can you get to know your spouse better today? So we'll come back to these questions here in a moment, but I just want to pause for one moment and say, um, we are continuously changing as people in our relationship. We are continuously changing. So if you find yourself being a little bit more irritable with your spouse from time to time after you've been together, maybe sit down and have a conversation with yourself. It's completely normal. And your spouse may be getting irritable with you too. That's completely normal. But I think it's a matter of having that not give up attitude, right? When you have that not give up attitude and you push forward and you want to get to know your spouse and learn your spouse, continue to learn your spouse as things change in your lives, it can make for a really meaningful and impactful relationship, continuing on in the future here. So let's go to the actual scripture now. So now we're in Galatians 6. Let us not grow weary or become discouraged in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap. Oh, excuse me. For at the proper time, excuse me. For at the proper time we will reap if we do not give in. So then, while we as individual believers have the opportunity, let us do good to all people, not only being helpful, but also doing that which promotes their spiritual well-being, and especially be a blessing to those of the household of faith, born again believers. And then lastly, Genesis 2. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed nor embarrassed. And there is no greater feeling than this, beloved. For me, I would say, and having obviously not been married at one point, and then dating, and then officially getting married, it's I would say one thing that it does for me, at least in my eyes, is it brings a tremendous amount of peace. And it brings peace when you're with a partner that you can trust. Now, with God, all things are possible. So if there's something in your marriage that you feel like maybe you should work on or you need to work on, have a conversation with God and pray for Him to intercede in that, in whatever it is that you may be going through. It's a very, very powerful exercise. If you have people that you can confide in and that you trust, confide in them. And if, for me personally, I believe in support. I support marriage. Do everything that you can to keep the marriage together, before quote unquote giving up or walking away, right? And I think that the scripture does a really good job explaining like how a dynamic marriage should be, and how to approach it as a man and as a woman. And it kind of gives you some frameworks to work within. And if you stay within those frameworks, just like anything else in life, kingdom law, you follow the kingdom law, you have a high probability of success. So with that, beloved, I hope that you've enjoyed day 1 of 3, pursuing your spouse in marriage, with David McDonald. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next episode. See you guys.